Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sonia, and if you're new here, thank you very much for stopping by. You know, the fall or autumn means pumpkin spice, and here in the States at least, I think we put it in everything. I have seen it in Pop-Tarts, Oreo cookies, ice cream sandwich bars, and I've even had pumpkin flavored popcorn. It was actually pretty good. So today I am comparing 3 brands of pumpkin spice tea. And afterward, I'm going to make a batch of scones to go with it. Okay, first up is the Republic of Tea pumpkin spice. Now, this says to bring the water to a boil and in 6 ounces of water, let it steep for 3 to 5 minutes. Now, the teacup I have here is about an 8-ounce cup, might even be a 10. In fact, I think it's more like a coffee cup instead of a teacup, but because it holds enough water, I'm going to use it instead. Now, this says to place 1 tea bag in your cup and pour 6 ounces of water over the tea bag and infuse for 3 to 5 minutes, which for me means about 4. There we go. Get this where you can see it. And I'm not going to fill up the cup because it just wants 6 ounces. And we'll let that steep for 4 minutes. And our tea is ready. It's been our 4 minutes. Take out our tea bag. And I am using tea bags in all 3 of these test teas because they're just a little easier to find. There is loose tea that you can find that's pumpkin spice flavored, but it's a little more difficult. Squeeze it out just a little bit. Put that there. It's a nice dark color. Part of that is probably because this is the one of the 3 teas I'm testing today that's actually black tea that's flavored with pumpkin flavoring. The other 2 are herbal tisanes. So let's see. First I can say that it smells really nice. Before I taste it, I wanted to give you the ingredients. Black tea, ginger, cinnamon, natural ginger, and pumpkin flavors, sweet blackberry leaves, nutmeg, cloves, and allspice. All right. You know, the black tea comes through. I think what I'm getting mostly is the clove and the pumpkin flavorings. You know, I can smell the cinnamon, but I don't taste it quite as much as I do the other ingredients. But it's quite nice. You could certainly do that. Okay, next up is our Reishi pumpkin spice tea. Oops, it'd help if I knew how to get in here, wouldn't it? Here we go. Oh, these are individually wrapped. Now this says, for preparation, they want 8 ounces of water in 200 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes. Now, 200, of course, is less than boiling. Boiling is 212. And now my tea kettle, I do have temperature settings. If you don't worry about it. You could bring your water to boil and then just let it sit for about a minute or less, and it will cool down enough, I think, that you'll be fine. Water actually cools down pretty quickly. Now, it doesn't feel that way if you put your finger in it, but it actually does cool down pretty quickly. So, but I'm going to go ahead and hit my 200 mark to get my water heated. And again, this says 8 ounces of water for 5 minutes is the steep time. Now, the ingredients in this, it starts out with pumpkin, then cinnamon, turmeric, sarsaparilla root, organic licorice. All of these ingredients are organic. Ginger, cocoa shells, roasted chicory root, lemon peel, ashwagandha root, and oil of cassia. All right. we are ready. Pouring up. And we're going to go for 5 minutes. And our 5 minutes is up. This is in one of these little pyramid tea bags. It's really pretty too because you can see a lot of the pumpkin pieces. That in my little squeezer just a little bit, never too much. You know, when I first poured the water over the tea, I could instantly get this great aroma of cinnamon. And I think I'm tasting the cinnamon, but I'm also getting maybe sarsaparilla, maybe chicory. It's very nice. It's mild. It's nothing in it is overwhelming, but it's quite good. It's a good distinctive flavor. I quite like that. All right, our final tea is this yogi tea, pumpkin spice, and it says you can bring the water to a boil and steep for 7 minutes, which is the longest of any of these. And you can even use 2 tea bags for stronger tea. I'm just going to use 1 today, just to keep it even. I smell it. Oh, it's so nice. It's the first one of the bags that I have smelled. It smells really nice. And now we will get our water to boil. And there we go. You know, before I pour the water over it, I have to say, just standing here over this tea bag, I can smell this tea. It is so strong. It smells lovely. And let that steep for our 7 minutes. All right, our 7 minutes is up. I have to say, this tea smells so nice. See how it tastes. A little stir. Another thing I note on the box, it says it eases tension and promotes relaxation. So that's nice. That's very good. What I am tasting, let's see, did I give you the ingredients? Chamomile, cinnamon bark, ginger root, roasted chicory root, cardamom pod, nutmeg kernel. That's what I'm tasting, a lot of nutmeg. Clove bud, passion flower plant extract, pumpkin, and monk fruit extract. And all of those are organic. I am definitely getting the nutmeg. It's really nice. The aroma of the steeped tea is cinnamon. And I'm getting a little cinnamon, but it tastes more of nutmeg and allspice. That's really nice. That's kind of like pumpkin pie in a cup. I think I like that best. It's distinctive, but it's not overwhelming. And I don't think you need a second tea bag. I mean, if you wanted to, you could. It would be really, really strong. But I think it's fine. And also another note is all of these teas would be really nice with milk. Makes it more like a chai. Okay, so here's all 3. Our yogi tea, the Reishi, and the Republic of Tea. Now, the yogi and the Reishi, remember, these are both herbal teas, so they are going to have no caffeine. The Republic of Tea is a black tea that's flavored with pumpkin, so it's going to have caffeine. Tea, of course, black tea has about half the amount of caffeine that a cup of coffee would have. I think of these three, I'm going to pick the yogi for myself. I seem to like that one the best, and I think it will pair very nicely with scones. Okay, this recipe is based on Irish baker Catherine Leyden's scone recipe. It's one of them. I like it because it's quick, it's easy, and it contains ingredients that most of us already have on hand. I'm going to preheat my oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 220 degrees Celsius or gas mark 7. And I'm going to generously dust my baking tray with flour and put that inside to preheat as well. Okay, while the oven is preheating, I have in a bowl here 8 ounces or 228 grams, roughly 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And to that, I am going to add 1 tablespoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 ounce or 25 grams of granulated sugar. Now, if you like your scones a little bit sweeter, you could go with 2 ounces if you like. I think though, since you're having strawberry jam and clotted cream, you're already going to have a very rich topping for your scones, so it really doesn't need to be that sweet. Also, if you wanted to do fruit scones, adding in raisins or maybe cranberries for the season, you would do that now while you have your dry ingredients. I'm just going to mix that in just a little bit, get it incorporated. Now to that, I'm going to add 2 ounces or 56 grams of cold unsalted butter. If you use salted, you would just leave out that half teaspoon of salt that we put in just a moment ago. And now I prefer to use a pastry cutter to get this mixed together. Some people use their fingertips. I have warm hands sometimes, or I can't necessarily count on them to be the right temperature, so I prefer doing it this way. And you want to cut this in until you get it like breadcrumbs. Okay, if this is what you're looking for, just kind of breadcrumb consistency. All right. Now to that, I am going to add about 150 milliliters, that's just under 3/4 of a cup of milk. I'm going to leave a little out just to see how it goes. You know, some days your flour absorbs more liquid than others. What you don't want to do is overwork your dough. Just bring it all together. I'm going to need all of the milk. Just want to get all those dry flour bits. Okay, once you get enough of it together in the bowl, then you want to put it onto your floured surface to bring it together the rest of the way. You're not really kneading it, you're just bringing it together. This is not like a loaf of bread that you're making. This is a quick bread and it just needs to come together. Ah, the oven is ready. Now I like a rustic scone. If you want to use your rolling pin to get the top smooth, you can certainly do that. But I like a rustic top, and I like to leave it about an inch tall. And then when you take your cutter, now this is a 2 1/4 inch cutter or 6 centimeter cutter. just go straight down. Don't twist until you get it out of there. If you twist it as you go down, it tends to crush the edges of your scone, and when it rises, it may rise kind of wonky, which, you know, still tastes good, but it won't be as pretty. And then with your little bits left over, you just kind of bring them together. Kind of get it even. Do one more right in the middle of that. Okay, now let's retrieve our hot baking tray. All right, now you can see our flour is brown, but that's okay. Catherine says by heating the baking tray, it actually helps the scones rise. And she suggests putting them kind of close together, which also helps them rise. Okay, now to glaze the tops just a little bit, help them brown, I've got an egg yolk here and just a little pinch of salt, and that should help them brown a little bit. Okay, now into the oven they will go for 10 minutes. Okay, I know everyone's oven is different, but these went in exactly 10 minutes ago and they are gorgeous. And with asbestos fingers, I just want to show you how well they rose up. Oh, I'm very pleased with that. They smell delicious. All right, so now we are ready for our cream tea. And just look at these scones. I mean, they turned out beautifully. They are really gorgeous. They are crisp on the outside and yet fluffy on the inside. And look how they break open. That's why you should never need a knife to open a scone. The only thing you need your knife for is to spread your cream and your jam. If it's made properly, they will rise enough, and there's kind of this natural crack that happens, and you just break them apart and it makes them so much better. Also, you know, I have my tea here, which is the Yogi pumpkin spice tea that I selected because I liked that best to combine with the scones. I think that's going to be a wonderful combination. You know, Earl Grey or English breakfast is usually what I like best, but sometimes for the season it's nice to have a spice tea of some kind. And plus, if you have friends who come over, maybe they don't like or need caffeine, and so that's something that you can offer for them as well. Plus, the scones are so easy and so quick. If you have someone drop in, you can have all of this ready in about 20 minutes, and it's just delightful. So now let's try our tea. Oops. Oh, that's beautiful. And I am going to put just a little milk in my tea. And I'm not going to use any sweetener because these spice flavors are so nice. They just aren't necessary. Yeah, that's so lovely. All right, now I have my cream. And all right, I admit it, I'm a cream first person. Sorry, Cornwall, I love you, but I like my cream on first. And I know I shouldn't do that, but I am eating alone. If I had someone with me, I would put the cream and the jam on my plate first and then go from there. But I'm going to be greedy and just have the whole thing. So let's give it a try. Oh. Oh my goodness. That's kind of perfect. That's kind of heaven in a mouthful. I love that. I hope you'll try this recipe, and you might want to try the yogi spice tea as well. The pumpkin spice, it's really nice, and it's a good combination with this meal. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more tea videos. Until next time, bye-bye.